FDA has now turned all of their devices against this. We've got a FDA attacking a man who was selling a supplement that they say has healed tens of thousands of people. They're coming after him to put him in jail for 37 years in prison. Okay, well, if it's a harmful substance, maybe he needs to go to jail for doing this. Except that's not the issue. They haven't proven that it's harmful. All that's proven is that they didn't approve it prior. See, everything in America is now prohibited unless it is expressly permitted by some unelected government bureaucracy like the FDA. And in the article, they point out that there's 106,000 cases in just the last year of FDA-approved drugs killing people. And they say in this particular case of this substance, there are no proven cases of anyone dying. Yet this man, who has a jury trial coming up in 30 days, may go to jail for 37 years. This is where you need to apply your knowledge of jury nullification, educate people about their responsibility. We need to stand with each other when the government tries to do this type of thing and say, you're not going to do it. But it's a very troubling thing to me that the government can come in and accuse people of something without proving that it's harmful, merely making it a crime that they have not approved at first. And we saw this last week with a homeschooling prepper family, as it was reported from the Washington Post and other places. 7 of his children were taken away from the couple, and apparently it was because of this same supplement. He has 2 other children who are now in college, yet they're saying that this is something that is dangerous. This person was not selling it, he was using it for himself. And according to the Washington Post, he's 73 years old, he's got 9 children. He has been using this supplement from the same 4-ounce bottle for more than a year. He's used less than 4 ounces in more than a year. But of course, they're going to take away his children. They're going to throw this man in jail, not because they've seen any harmful effects, but because they haven't given approval and because it's a competition to their corporate owners, their corporate sponsors, the people who use the FDA to give them plausible deniability and protection from lawsuits when their materials kill people. They say that this is something that turns into a potent bleach that can cause side effects that range from uncomfortable to life-threatening. And yet we haven't seen this with this man. And he says he's not giving this to his children. That's the type of thing that we're seeing increasingly, just as we saw in the last segment, using Obamacare to come in and tell us what we can and cannot eat in the name of protecting us from ourselves, protecting us from obesity. We need to be informed as to what the risks are. That's what the FDA is not doing. And then at that point, we need to be able to make the informed consent. We need to determine whether or not we want to do this. It is our bodies, it is our lives. And we've seen prohibition enacted for far too long. And of course, they don't have the authority to prohibit anything. The amendments to prohibit alcohol tell us that the government needed to amend the Constitution in order to prohibit any substance, the ownership, the sale, the use of any substance. They didn't have the authority under the Constitution. They had to create a constitutional amendment. And so they don't have the legal authority, the constitutional authority to do that with marijuana, certainly not with medical supplements. Well, stay with us right after the news. We've got a special report from Rob Dew, how you can stage your own beheading video, just like the CIA and ISIS.
Introducing Secret 12, the new INFOWARS Life vitamin B12 formulation. Most forms of vitamin B12 are highly processed and synthetic and cannot be properly absorbed by the body. That's why for real results, so many are having to turn to painful B12 injections, which are known to have higher absorption rates. Now, InfoWarsLife.com is excited to announce that we can bring you our most bioactive, powerful form of B12 that has been developed with our exclusive perfected process. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Discover the secret. Secret 12. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. 2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. Tens of thousands of individuals have used Oxy Powder to cleanse their bodies and aid in their transformations. Even InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
Joe Biggs here with InfoWars.com. Now, last week we came out with a video called the ISIS beheading video fail. Got tons of views. But what we want to do is give you a more in-depth look at how you can create a video like this using the green screen, the chroma key, and some After Effects tricks as well. We don't have the funding that ISIS has. We don't have CIA backing. We don't have government backing. We go purely off of our listeners, our followers in the info war. So what we're going to do is go to Rob Dew inside the green screen area, and then we're going to go to Darren McBreen to talk about how he can make everything look way more realistic. And then another thing as well, we want to go ahead and say that we're not trying to make fun of what's going on over there in the Middle East. We know that ISIS is a real terrorist organization. They actually behead people. They're lining people up in the streets and shooting them dead. And our heart goes out to all those people who have been killed and the families that are still here. So all this is we're looking at it from a different aspect, saying that this is something that can be questioned, because after looking at the videos of the Johnny Jihad with the 2 Japanese hostages, there was some shady stuff. I mean, even Fox News is coming out and saying that. And then you have different people like the Daily Sheeple that are questioning it. And quite frankly, tons of people on Twitter think it's a pretty bogus video. And that's all we're looking at, is that aspect, not the fact that real people are being killed. That's a horrible thing. We're just looking at the technical aspects. So let's go to Rob Dew inside the green screen studio and take a more in-depth look.
Thanks, Joe. Now, right now, we are on the set, which you can't even really tell because we haven't turned on any lights. This is our green screen setup we have here at InfoWars.com, and I'm going to show you basically how they lit that terrorist ISIS video using the 2 Japanese prisoners. So first, we're going to turn on the first light. Just over here, we're going to put on our guy, Richard, and you can see it's light here, dark here. Now we're going to put on the other light to get the same effect. And you can see dark here, light here, but they also had light in front of them. So we're going to put our third light on. This is basic 3-point lighting. And now you can see, and we can adjust the intensity of the light, but you can see there's still shadows on the left and right. Now, I doubt they were using the same lights that we're using. We're using these intelligent LED lights. They're LED panels. These are 50-watt panels, and that's a 100-watt panel there. But you can still see we got dark, light, and then dark, light, which would negate any evidence that they were shooting outside, which they would have you to believe from the video. And now let's cue the fan so we can get that going. And you can see how it's blowing the uniforms. So here we have our background. This is just on another source. This is a computer that runs into our TriCaster program. I imagine if these guys are CIA funded, they're probably using a better chroma key version than what we have, because we're actually supported by our listeners, not by the government or the CIA in this case. So here you can see it's brought up in source 6. This is our main screen of our guys. I'm actually going to pull them off, and you're going to see this is the desert scene again. And I can do all kinds of stuff. I can change the contrast of it. Okay, I can bring that back in. So you can do all kinds of stuff with that. Now we're going to bring in our guys, but I'm actually going to turn off our chroma key, and then I'm going to show you how that's done. Right there we bring it in. Boom. So there they are in a desert world. And you can see, we're going to bring this, let's see, let's bring, that's there and that's there. So you can see how, look, there you can see what's cut out and then bringing it in. You can just bring in the background. So then they could change this background. Now, you guys turn to the side a little bit. Yeah, turn this way for the side shot. And so we've got two different shots, and we'll shoot this, we'll record this on tape so you can see the difference between the two, so we could show how you could actually make two different shots out of one, or they could even have two cameras. And I think they were using two cameras at the same time with their pre-recorded message. And you can't tell if the guy's talking or not, so that could easily be pre-recorded. They could have a fan going. But most assuredly, these guys were not in a outside environment. They were doing it inside. And the big thing is you can't do this stuff without some technological know-how and some funding. And now, yes, ISIS does have funding. They get it from selling oil, other terrorist activities, they're looting, but they got their seed money from the CIA. But it also takes know-how to do this. You're not going to have the typical ISIS jihadi knowing how to come in here and set up a chroma key setting. I mean, we've got this system here, and it took us a few months to get this down pat. So they had to bring in experts, get people to work with them. Those experts, probably from the CIA or some other entity that's working with these guys. So now we're going to show you how you can even chroma key this stuff and add drop shadows using After Effects.
All right, so here we are in the post-production phase. We are with Darren McBreen, INFOWARS graphics expert. You see all of his videos, he does the stingers, he does all the cool graphics that we have here at INFOWARS.com. Now tell us what it is we're working on now for the video.
Well, you guys just got through in front of the green screen. If you can get a closer look at this. I want to put some backgrounds. This is the background. This is the sand dunes background. And then I got some clouds. And what I do with the clouds, these clouds are going to move from left to right.
Oh, so you could actually add that in there.
It just so looks a little more believable, right? All right, so I pulled this footage into Adobe After Effects. I'm going to put a key light on here. And there you go. There's our background. See a lot of what they call chatter around the neck. We're going to get rid of that, but with a simple choker. And again, this is just really quickly done. The more time you spend on these things, the better it looks. And this is just to illustrate that the footage that you've seen of these beheadings, we're not saying that we're faked, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Definitely possible using green screen technology.
And thus far in the production phase, we're only 20 minutes into this, and we've already gotten this far.
Yep.
So imagine with CIA backing and tons of funds coming in, they're going to be able to get this looking really good.
Absolutely. And here's another thing I did is I decided these guys, let's beat them up a little bit at their eyes. Gave them a little black eye there, so it looks like they've been roughed up a little bit. Again, to get it more realistic, there's more work to be done, but you can see just in a couple minutes. So we've even added some dust elements in the background, some clouds back here. And I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah, and it's all about lighting. With the proper lighting, we could really, make this even look more realistic. But like we were saying, we don't know if that was a green screen or not, if these beheadings were faked. But you could tell by just a couple minutes on here.
Everyone's questioning it. So all we can do here is kind of analyze. All right, if they are faking it, this is how they would do it.
Yeah. I agree, and I question some of the shadows that we saw on the Japanese beheading videos. Just didn't look right to me. And once again, I'm not sure whether it was faked or not, but it certainly looks possible.
Well, that's it for tonight's news. If you're watching on Google, please subscribe to our channel there. And if you would like to support our operation and see the nightly news as it happens Monday through Friday at 7 Central, please become a subscriber to Prison Planet TV. Right now we have our year-end and year-beginning special of $29.95. That can be shared with up to 20 other people at the same time. And of course, they will all have access to Alex Jones's documentaries right there at Prison Planet TV. Join us again on Monday at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
This has an aftertaste.
Tastes like Austin water? Yeah, it does. Ugh.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
High quality H2O.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing. Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, Monsanto's deadly pesticide, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
Yeah, it has that processed flavor to it.
The Pro Pure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances and many more.